Good evening, everybody, and happy Thursday night. Coming to you live from Massachusetts and Texas. Tonight we're in the red zone and we're going to be talking about something that is super important for schools, and that's our bus drivers and how they impact the daily lives of kids. My name is Dean Packard, and I'm the principal of Charlton Middle School in Charlton, Massachusetts. And alongside of me, I've got my good friends and co-hosts across the board here, Principal Chris Starcheski and Principal Josh Tovar from Texas. It's great to see you. It seems like we haven't seen you in a while, guys, although I did see you this afternoon as you came in during our conference today. So before we get there, let's kick it around. Chris, how are you, brother? Good to see you again.
Doing great, Dean. Thanks for kicking our show off this evening. Everybody out there, Chris Starcheski, principal at Dudley Middle School in Dudley, Massachusetts. What we've got tonight, we've got a great show, a great opportunity for us to see how the large majority of our kids prepare for their walk through the front door with a ride to school. And we're going to be able to talk with three fantastic ladies tonight and hear from their perspectives just why that job is so powerful. Josh, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fabulous. Hey, everybody, Josh Tovar, proud principal of Memorial Pathway Academy here. Excited, and let me tell you that I was in transportation for 2 years. I was a transportation supervisor, and I understand the hard work and dedication. These individuals, these team members wake up early in the morning. Some of their runs start at 5. They do their pre-trip bus check at 4:45 when everyone is still asleep. They have to scrape the windshields. They have to go through all that in the cold weather. And you know what? At 5 o'clock, 5:30, when they pick up those kiddos, they have a beautiful, warm smile. Let me tell you, it's a very difficult job. It's a very rewarding job. And those are the toughest working people. The mechanics, the aides, the bus driver aides, everybody there. They do a beautiful job. And you know what? They're the unsung heroes of our profession. I'm looking forward to having this awesome conversation. Hey, if you're in Hawaii, let us know you're from Hawaii. Hey, bus driver from Maine, let us know you're there. Hey, bus attendant from Iowa, let us know you're there, because you know what? You make a difference in a kid's life.
Making a difference is absolutely everything. You think about that. The first people that kids see to start their day, it's super important to start off the day on a good foot. And there's no doubt about that. And I have the luxury every morning at our school, and I'm sure you guys are the same. I'm outside, and I think Andrea can attest to this. I would make sure I wave to everybody, make sure I do that check-in, just this quick moment just to make sure that everybody's in the right place. And you know what? And then watch the kids get off the bus. And it's not an easy job at all. I was kidding with Chris earlier. I said, you know what? We're in charge of curriculum in schools, but there's a curriculum on the bus sometimes that challenges all of us that we have to make sure that we keep in check. So nevertheless, it's going to be a fun opportunity to speak to these drivers tonight just to get their perspective on things.
No doubt. Well, hey, let's go ahead and get down to business. We've got three young ladies to bring in. We've got Nancy, we've got Andrea, and we've got Melissa. Let's get them up on the screen, let them introduce themselves to the world and us, and then we can go ahead and get down to business. I know that Nancy's video is not working tonight, so we do have, though, the bookends, Andrea and Melissa around her. Ladies, how are you? Welcome to Unlock the Middle, and let's go ahead and welcome you in.
Thank you.
Andrea, why don't we start with you? A little bit about yourself. Yeah, you got to go first.
I'm Andrea. I am a school bus driver in Massachusetts. I drive middle school and elementary. Before I was a school bus driver, I worked in nursing for 20 years. And I'm a mom of a 3-year-old. And I actually really love my job in comparison to the healthcare job.
Yeah, I couldn't tell that by your smile every day when I see you. So I absolutely know, and I can attest to the fact that you do love your job. So welcome, and nice to have you here with us. Melissa.
Hi, my name is Melissa Melendez. I'm from El Paso. I work for the Socorro Independent School District, and I drive pre-K, middle school, and high school. And I have first, second, and third graders. I drive everything, and I've been a bus driver for 14 years. I have 2 daughter and a son, and a grandchild, and one on the way. And I also love my job. It's very, very, very rewarding to me.
Oh, thank you. And we welcome you being here as well, Melissa. We appreciate the enthusiasm and the longevity in doing what you do. Okay, definitely not easy. And last but not least, this smiling face you are going to miss, but the energy and the passion lies behind that blank screen. Nancy, welcome to our show.
Hello, my name is Nancy, and I'm a dispatcher, supervisor, bus driver, do it all, I guess.
She does everything.
It's first student in Charlton, and I have 4 sons, 4 grandchildren, 1 more coming on Monday, and they are the highlight of my life. And I have been doing this job for 28 years. And yeah, I started, I'd like to say I started at 16, but no, I was a little bit older. And yeah, no, I think it's great. You're absolutely correct. I love when I go to the schools and I see you guys out there. It just makes our job easier knowing we have the support of you. I fill in on a lot of bus routes lately. So I've gotten to see a lot of the kids in a lot of the different schools, which, you know, even though they may drive you crazy, it's still the best part of the day. You know, kids are great. You learn a lot from them.
Well said. Well said. Hey, let's jump right into this. Let's jump right in. Let's talk about, I'm going to take question number 1. Let's talk about the greeting and setting the tone for the day. How important is it? And what does it look like through your eyes as kids get on the bus in the morning and parents are waving goodbye and you are that next safety level for those kids as they venture off into the world of school? And why don't we start off with Melissa with this one and just kind of take us through what you see in the morning and your morning routine and what that looks like.
Well, my morning routine start off like Mr. Tovar said, checking the bus, pre-tripping it, making it safe for us to drive for the kids. And, sometimes it's in the, like you said, cold weather, it's all types of weather. But when I get up and, I go pick up my kids and I see their smile, I see them get on that bus. It's very rewarding to me. I love to see my kids. I say that they're all my kids because I don't care. Like, I don't care what age they are. I look at them as, all my kids, and I just love, getting up in the morning and seeing their faces. And the parents also, all my parents are very understanding, and if I have a problem, they're very, very understanding with whatever I need their help with their kids. And also, like, the principals, everybody at school, I don't know, everybody is very, very friendly, very nice, I've never had any problems all these years with any of my students, thank God, or any fights or anything. But I guess it's the way I treat them with respect. I treat them, how we all want to be treated, because sometimes we don't treat our kids just because they're kids. Sometimes, they feel that we don't respect them, but I've always respected all my kids. I say hi to them every morning. Good morning. Have a good day when they get off the bus. I'll see you at 3:00 when you guys get out. So I've never had any problems, and I like to reward my kids. I do buy them, all my kids, first, second, third, high school kids, I buy them, I buy them snacks just to kind of like reward them so they can feel appreciated and they can feel that, that, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like the kids don't feel like they're appreciated, and like a small candy, a small gesture, a small hi, a small bye, a good morning goes a long way. And I don't know, like for me it's very fulfilling to see them. And like I said, I've never had any problems. I love my kids.
I love it. Did she leave anything else for you guys to say? Andrea, you're up. How your day starts?
My day starts basically the same way. Besides saying good morning, because sometimes they don't even look at you in the morning. They're getting on.
They're talking middle school kids right there.
They've got their earbuds in. They're not looking at you. They don't hear you, but you still say it. You still smile. And remembering their name. Like knowing, like, good morning, Chloe. How are you today? Or just like remembering, oh, you're going to be late. I'll come pick you up on the way back. Or you're having a rough day, whatever. Those are like some of the things that if you can remember their name, they know that you're paying attention. I think that's one of the important things. And, like I said, just saying good morning, looking at them and talking to them. My little kids, on the other hand, They all say good morning. They're all excited to get on the bus. They're going to tell you everything that's happened in their life. So parents of little kids, beware. They tell us everything. They tell us everything.
We know it all.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But
Great stuff. Nancy, how about you? I know your day starts at about 3:30 in the morning, I'm sure. So why don't we talk a little bit about what you have to go through in the morning to get the fleet started? You know, Nancy is from a more of a central office, but she also fills in and drives, which is fantastic. And she's not afraid to get, roll up her sleeves and do what everybody else is doing, which I really admire about you, Nancy, and especially with a shortage of bus drivers. It makes it very difficult sometimes. So talk about your day, Nancy.
Okay, thank you very much for that compliment. But yeah, my day, I get to work about 10 past 5, open up. If I have great set of mechanics that help out, they'll start the buses for us. Up here in Texas, you get a little cold, but not like here. It's 20 below some days, and these drivers come out, they're bundled up. The kids are bundled up. I don't know, the buses are cold, let's put it that way, but we get through it. The last 2 years, we've even had to drive with windows open all the time. And I commend every driver out there that's listening. Thank you very much. Your dispatcher, your trainer, I'm all of those things. Actually, I'm a trainer too. So my day starts with that. I make sure everybody gets their keys. They're happy. Good morning. They're my kids, I guess I could say. I have to be nice, and some of them I want to throttle, and some I say, oh, embrace, but you got to start with a smile, send them out in a good mood because they are driving the most precious cargo in the world, somebody else's children. So you want to make sure they're focused. Get them out there. If they have a problem, we send somebody out right away. I call it the pit crew, and we get out there. They get out there. They get it settled. You get to that first stop. And when I first started driving, I knew everybody's first, middle, last name, who was related, who wasn't. You had their brothers or sisters. Now I'm driving their children. It's pretty cool, actually. I can still go down a road and remember who I picked up. So never forget any of you bus drivers out there. You never, ever forget any of these students. I mean, what the heck? I probably drove Andrea at one point.
probably.
Yeah, he's friends with my kids, so I'm glad the pitch is not up. No, but it's a great way, and it never ends. It doesn't stop all day. I remember when my kids went to school, I thought the bus fell from the sky, came down, picked up the kids, and then went away. You just never thought that there was a place to call. Well, let me tell you, our phones never stop ringing. I think I have a good rapport with most parents. If I have an issue, I have no problem calling the principals. They're very helpful. All in all, the day's a pretty busy day. It goes by fast. It ends about 5:30 at night, and it's pretty good. Actually, I like my job.
Who's your favorite principal, Nancy?
Okay. Oh, my mic's not working.
I'm teasing you. You're going to say somebody from another district, I'm sure. That's okay if you do. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Well,
great leading. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, I know the answer to that question, Nancy, because it's your first email of the day at 6:09 a.m. That would be to me, Dean. Now ladies, thanks so much. It's so important that kids have somebody that they can rely on and really get to know them. Classroom teachers have the luxury of having the kids in a classroom with a ratio of 1 to 20. You're dealing a bus full, in some cases 50 plus, I would imagine, in some cases, and being able to know the kids and have that greeting is exceptionally important. As Nancy just mentioned, you're dealing with the most precious cargo ever, other parents, children, and delivering them to and from school. So we hit upon it a little bit, but creating those sustainable relationships with parents and with kids is so important. Talk a little bit more about the relationship piece. Kids confide in you. They look to you for guidance. They look to you for help. And sometimes you're put in a hard spot where you've got to share a little bit of information with, the assistant principal or the principal at the school, or you get back to the bus barn and you're like talking to the manager and you're like, man, I gotta figure out who to talk to about this. How do you really get down and have a trusting relationship with the kids and with the parents? And what's the most important element of trust in those relationships for you personally?
What do you
hit it with Andrea?
I think, well, number one, when there are parents outside present, I wave to every single parent. As soon as their kid gets on the bus, I wave goodbye. I make a good eye contact with them. I know that's definitely, and I think a lot with the kids is they just want to be like, they want a voice. They want to like be heard if something's going on, and they're not going to tell you right away. If you ask them, then they're going to talk, and they want to talk. But in regards to the parents, like reassurance, if so-and-so needs to get picked up on the second wave around, it's no big deal. Or if so-and-so is running late and they're like, hold on just 1 second, it's, and I always tell the kids, we all have a day that we're running late. We're all human beings, all of us. I have late days. Everybody has late, like little things like that. It's the little things. Or a parent that's concerned that their 5th grader is going to sit with an 8th grader. Well, reassure. I would never let any of my kids sit somewhere they weren't comfortable. Reassuring like the parents, if there's an issue, or telling them you can always call the office. We can always correct an issue if there is an issue, but mostly making eye contact with the parents that are present, waving to them goodbye or hello, consistency. That's just that alone, I think.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Melissa.
I usually, what I do when I have my pre-K, at my first stop, I actually introduce myself to the parents, and I say, my name, and I let them know that whatever they need, they can come talk to me, or their kids. I know they're little, but I know that they'll actually come and talk to me, and I like them to feel safe. Sometimes they'll come and hug me, but with the parents, usually I have a really good relationship with the parents. Actually, like I know all my parents. But that's like my little ones. And actually, even from my middle school, I know some of my parents from my middle school also. I like my middle school kids, to feel also comfortable. And I tell them when I first get on the bus, if because I have assigned seats for my kids, but I let them know, if you don't feel comfortable on where you sit at, let me know, and I will change you seats, because I like for them to feel comfortable, and I like for them to feel that they're not in a place that they don't like. And actually that worked really good, because I actually had a student this year that he didn't like where he was sitting, and I guess it's that trust, like Andrea says, that I don't know. I guess they feel comfortable, and I changed them seats, and actually the mom came, and she also told me she had, that her son wasn't feeling comfortable, and I also I introduced myself to her, and I told her, yeah, wherever he wants to sit. I actually let him pick his seat wherever he wanted to sit. I told him these seats are empty and available, and like I said, like Andrea says, just like that icon, I make sure I wave to all my parents also, and as I'm driving off, or and my high school kids, even though they're in high school, they're I guess, I don't know if I also don't have a problem. I don't know if like they see me and I'm a trusting person, or I don't know, because they also they'll come up to me and they have problems on the bus with somebody, or actually, I guess, what I think it is, like I told, like I had mentioned earlier, it's that the rewarding, that I like to reward them, and gain their trust, and actually one of my high school kids was sitting in the back, and he actually came and said, hey, this kid is doing this in the back. So it's like, I was like, like, wow, like he's in high school and he's telling on his own friends, but I think it's like, like that trust. But like I said, I like to make them feel comfortable on the bus, and I said I like to reward them, make them feel, that they're noticeable, and that so like I don't know, I've been driving for like I said, like 14 years, and I've never had a problem, never till now. And with the parents also, and with the parents, I say, if you have any problems, call, here's the number, call transportation, call the principal, whatever you need. I make sure I provide numbers if they need anything, but that's, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
That's great. Great. You hit upon a bunch of things. Andrea, you as well. Hey, Nancy, from the trainer perspective, you're onboarding drivers, all the time. You're looking for substitute fill-ins. What's some of the key advice that you give to them in terms of the management of that relationship piece with the kids and the routes that they're charged with?
My thing is, Melissa had keyed in on this. You get what you give is my biggest thing. So if you treat them with respect, and I've been doing this a while, I'm not saying kids are a little tougher nowadays, but they're going to treat you okay. So I'll tell them, don't yell all the time because you sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, and they're not going to hear you anymore. So you just want to talk to them, explain it to them. I'm a proponent of make them own it. Like when we're telling them, we have the thumbs up to cross the street. We're telling them to be safe. If I just keep saying that, they're not going to get it. But if I will tell the kids, thank you for trusting me. Don't trust my bus and don't trust the other traffic. You have to watch me. I'm going to take care of you, but you have to own it. See, to me, make that happen. Rewarding them is a great thing. Some districts don't like you to do that, but we sneak
It works.
anyways. Yeah, I know we sneak it in anyways. I just sometimes turn a blind eye. Just be careful. Give them their candy when they're getting off the bus.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. Too much paperwork. But it's okay to be nice to them. And I do have to say, about the trust level, years and years ago, I had a student who came from a troubled family, and I kept him and his buddy after one day. And I said, you don't have to follow that path. You're guiding them too. We may not be the teachers, but they are listening to us. So at one point, somebody told him, why don't you just quit school? And he goes, my bus driver would kill me. He was so afraid, and unfortunately he quit school, but he got his GED, but he found me. He found me at the center of Charlton one day and said, thank you. You made me, and he's doing really well now, and that makes you proud because you will see the kids. But training them, it's hard. You got to tell them, I guess, you give what you get, be polite, be firm, fair, consistent in it. Don't, as a parent too, you don't do unrealistic things, so you tell them you got to sit up front. Why? Oh, we're just going to chat for a while. Don't embarrass a kid because you're never going to get anything from them if you embarrass them or call them out in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So, just make sure that, you can talk quietly and everything. Protect yourself at all times too. I mean, we all have cameras, but just treat them like human beings. That's all they want.
Yeah.
Perfect advice and focus. Thank you.
And you know what, ladies? The next thing we want you to tell us, and you know what? Think of when you think of your answer, I want you to think about that parent that walks the student to their stop, waves goodbye to you, but let them know about the protocols that you have to do since the moment you clock in. From the moment that you clock in, it's all about safety. Mm-hmm. Everything that you do is about safety. The public just thinks that you go in there, get on the bus, turn it on, it's warm, and you put little stickers on the windows, and then you drop off the kids. They have no idea about other drivers that are rude to you. They have no idea about drivers that pass you when your lights are out. They have no idea about how long it takes to pre-trip a bus, especially in very cold weather. And then at the end, when you're coming back to the bus barn, everything you have to do to get ready. And within that group, please talk to our parents, to every teachers. They don't know about this either. Tell them about having a classroom of 50 kids of different grade levels, different ages, and how crucial it is to keep them focused, engaged, and respectful, because that's the lives of 51 people. So who like to invite this elephant right here?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, because I feel like in a classroom, it's a controlled setting. There is more than one adult that can manage if there's an issue. And when you're driving a 40-foot school bus with, I have 45 respectively middle schoolers behind me, I'm watching the road. I'm watching the kids. I'm watching my stops. I'm watching all 7 of my mirrors, making sure that nothing's going on in the back. Mornings are not so bad because they're sleepy, but the afternoons is wild sometimes. I'm on my speaker. Please sit down. Please sit down. I mean, like, there's a lot going on in front of you and behind you, and paying attention to everything else. So that's the one thing. We don't have like a controlled setting to where we can call Mr. Packard and tell him to come from another area of the bus and deal with this issue, because we're driving a 40-foot school bus, and sometimes bad weather, sometimes traffic, chaos. I mean, that there is an element to where you're just it's like you want the kids to be focused. Like, okay, we're only going to be on the bus for 25 minutes, guys. You guys are only going to be on this bus for 25 minutes. Let's just sit down, get to our stops, be respectful to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have one easy job. Just sit and be nice. That's it. That's your job.
Melissa?
Yeah, like Andrea was saying, it's hard to focus on everything at one time, because you got to be alert for the traffic, for like when you put your stop arm out, the buses are the cars are passing by. Sometimes I get so mad, I honk at them, because sometimes the kids have to cross. I have to take care of the car that's not gonna pass on the side or in front of me for the student to cross. So like Nancy was saying, I tell them, it's the safety, and I tell my kids, when you get off, be careful when you cross the street, look at me, and sometimes I tell the parents, or I kind of put my hand like, wait, stop, because it's really a safety issue, because sometimes they don't respect the bus drivers or the bus stop, and my biggest concern is if a child gets off and they get hurt, and like Mr. Tobar was saying, they're Prestige Cargo, they're my student, sometimes my grandbaby goes to a different school district, and another bus driver drives them. So I want the parents to know that we're probably maybe on that bus we have their children on the bus, and for them to stop when the bus stop comes out, because who knows, we might have their own child on my bus, and it's tough to be able to, it's one person, like Andrea was saying, for 70 students on the bus, 50 students on the bus. And like Andrea says, sometimes we're like, sit down, and stop horse playing, and you're looking up, you're looking down, you're looking to the sides, looking everywhere. And just to let the parents know, it's a safety issue, and we want to keep our kids safe. That's the biggest, and they always mention it at every meeting, every board member meeting, safety. That is the biggest thing, is for the safety of our students, for them to be safe when they get on that bus and when they get off that bus. And that sometimes that 25-minute ride, sometimes it's like an hour ride, because of the traffic and then jumping around. You just want to get there, be safe. But it's tough, it's tough, but I still love what I do. I love my kids. Like I say, I still love what I do. And just for the parents, just for them to be aware and look out, and just respect the it's all about respect, right? Respect that stop arm that comes down, because God forbid, you don't want to injure a child, or we hear so many injuries of a student crossing or this, and no, why, just stop when you have to stop. It'll only take a couple of, maybe not even a minute for them to cross, but just stop when that stop arm goes out, just to let the parents know. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy, what do you hear from your drivers when they come back to you? What experiences have you had when it comes down to the management of kids on the bus, inside of the unit, or anything that has to go with a daily drive?
They do get frustrated, like Andrea said. You could have potentially 71 kids behind you. Seats are higher now, so we can't see everything. But so keep with your three rules I had. Stay seated, keep your hands to yourself, and if you have nothing nice to say, I best not hear it. And now we have cameras, so we can. But you you need to be firm, fair, consistent. They get frustrated. I get that because you say the same thing. Sit down, sit down. Last year we had to add, leave your mask on, leave your mask on, sit down, sit down. Those are bus drivers' mantra, you know. If parents could be a little more supportful, it would be great. But they get their kids on the bus and they think the rest of the world should deal with them. Some parents are fabulous, some are not. We'll leave it at that. So I understand my driver's frustration, and like I said, the schools work well with us. They listen to me when I call, and they will listen to the drivers. They'll have meetings with drivers and everything. So they're absolutely. It's very frustrating. We can't see everything. I wish we could, and parents will say, "Why didn't you see that?" You know. So train your kids out there, whoever it is. They need to walk away from the bus when you're there. You have your brake on. You know, we have a whole thing. You approach a stop. 100 feet away, you put on your red lights. You know, your yellow lights. You stop. You put your brake on. Put it in neutral. Open your door. Check every mirror. Then the kids should get up. They walk across the street. They're going to look for you. Tell them to look both ways. Look for your thumbs up. It's hard. The parents don't understand that. The grandparents are there. They're like, come to us. And they want you to run. And you're like, you're out the window. No, let them cross the street the right way. Because we want to make them safe. We have to watch for people passing our vehicles all the time. They're on cell phones. They hold them up. Sorry, we're on the cell phone. Really? You know, nobody's paying attention. It is. So it makes a driver be more vigilant, I guess is the word. And they do a fabulous job, and we hope we never have that one time that it isn't. We've been very, very, very lucky. You know, keep up the good work, all you drivers that are out there. I can't say how many, but you do a fabulous job. You are appreciated. I think now more than ever, more than years ago, the things they have to do to get their license, nobody has any idea until they come and try to do it. The quarries they have to pass, the 60, 70 hours of training out in the cold and learning all these procedures. I mean, anybody can drive a bus, but to drive a bus with kids, I commend every single one. I mean, you know, we can't say, I'm going to turn this car around. We're not going to McDonald's, you know. But they do a fabulous job, and it's sometimes not rewarding in a sense.
Going to turn that bus around and bring them back to school and let the principal deal with them.
That's my big threat too. I'm like, we will turn right back around. You can get right back into the school.
So I always find it interesting. By far, you probably have one of the toughest jobs in education. There's no doubt about it. But you also have the ability to have the greatest impact on a child before they step foot in our school. And I often smile because I have ridden home on buses before, and I've sat in the back when they get on, and all of a sudden when I'm getting off, the bus driver will say, hey, can you come back and do that again? That was a really quiet ride. Listen, middle level adolescent, you know, from 10 to 14, it gets wild, and there's no doubt about it. When there's one person charged with driving home and keeping those kids safe, it's hard to watch them all the time. And I've watched the videotapes. And with that being said, there's adversity. There's levels of language. There's levels of behavior that could probably make the hair on the back of your head stand up. So how do you deal with that? And what is the proper way to ensure that you can have positive communication yet and keep everybody safe on the way home? And think about that and give me like a minute and a half on it and tell me what you think. Let's start with Melissa.
What I do is I pinpoint my troublemaker, and once you pinpoint your troublemaker, he kind of settles everybody down.
Change that word from troublemaker to in need of love.
Yes, yes. So that's what I do. So once I get him in my pocket, he kind of controls the bus, and I just say, "Hey, Jack," and he'll be like, "Hey, everybody." So that's what I do. I usually what I do is I try to get the one that kind of is the leader of the pack. And once I get him in my pocket, I'm like, you're my helper now. So he kind of helps me, settle the bus a little bit down, and that works for me. That works for me. And once I have him, I have that fish on that hook, and he's the one that helps, or she's the one that helps, and then everybody wants to volunteer and get in and help out. So that's what I usually do on my bus.
Create a relationship. What a
Yes.
shocker. We talk about that all the time. Andrea.
Yeah.
One of my I like to prevent issues before they start happening. And every single day is different. And it's not always the same group, even though I have a very special group of children that sit very close to me. I don't have enough front seats, but I do have a special group of kids on my bus that sit close to me. Every day is different. I could have my really well-behaved kids have a really crazy day, because my 5th graders actually sit in the back. I have 2 8th graders and the rest are my 5th graders because they actually, but sometimes they have crazy days. So every day is different. And you can read moods or something's going on and you're hearing, like, they don't think that you're listening to everything, but they know, because I will talk to them and be like, well, what's going on? Or what happened to this one? Or did so-and-so get detention? Well, what happened? Like, are they okay? Like, we will talk about it. One of the other things too is not having unrealistic punishments, which means, like, okay, so-and-so is going to sit in the front seat for a week and then talk to them by themselves. Like, this is why you're up here for a week. I'm sorry that it sucks, but, use their language, but not use their language, like not the scary language, but talk to them on the same level. Talk to them on the same level. Like, you guys are on the same level. Even though I am the adult, this is the child, but talk to them on the same level. Like, please don't do this. And please and thank you go a long way. Please sit down. Please shut up. No, I'm just kidding. No. Please don't stand right now. Or I know that you guys are just more messing around, but the parents that are in the parent pickup line are going to think that you're beating the crap out of each other. Please stop doing that. Things like that, like that kind of helps calm the situation. I don't really have any kind of like one kid that is this or one kid that is that. Every single kid has a good day and every single kid can have a bad day. So it's kind of like you're walking into, you never know. And of course, saying, good morning or how are you or what's the matter? Just saying what's the matter. If they look like they're ticked off, just say, what's the matter? What's going on? They talk about it and sometimes it's better. Like, their behavior is not, or they're like, wow, you know what? This person actually, they care about what's going on in my life. Those are some of the things that like help with, or if you accidentally say, Taylor, sit down, but it wasn't Taylor, just be like, I'm so sorry, Taylor. I thought it was you, but it was this one. Apologizing, being accountable for your actions as well as theirs. Things like that. That helps with dealing with some of the tougher days. And it's not every single day, but some days, can be rough, but not every single day.
Being
but
real.
Those are kind of the things that I've used.
Good stuff. All being real. Nancy.
Well, no, they're absolutely correct. There's only so many front seats. And just to let you principals know, I hate when you put them in the front seat. Heck, we don't want them near us.
Come on now. Come on. Now. That's not true.
Like this.
Nancy, I'm not sure about that.
But Andrea and Melissa, they're absolutely correct. You talk to them like human beings. But always remember, like, some things as adults we can let go because we're like, it's only 5 minutes to the stop. When the kid that they're sitting with is going, oh my God, it's 5 minutes to the stop. So we want to be mindful of everybody and be respectful and try to get kids out of certain situations. You look like you had a rough day at school. Why don't you sit up here and tell me about it? Put it that way. And then they're not going to start with the other kids, because let's face it, especially at your level right now, middle school, they're just walking hormones and they don't understand all of their emotions. So unfortunately, we are counselors too. Not unfortunately, but not only are we drivers, mothers, grandmothers, counselors, friends, we're a little bit of everything, bus drivers are. So if you can learn to pick up signs and pull them away from certain situations, it does make it easier. I complimented a bus this morning. I shouldn't have, but I said, oh my God, I drive so many buses. You guys are fabulous. Thank you so much. This afternoon, they proved me wrong. But which I'll talk to you later, Chris. But so you never know. I mean, they were thrilled that I complimented them, but that afternoon somebody had a bad day somewhere along the line, and it spread. So that had to be diffused. So you never ever know. And kudos to every driver out there, everybody that deals with kids. They are challenging at times, but they are the greatest gift, though.
Ladies, we've hit upon a lot. One central theme is that education in the last couple of years has been exceptionally challenging and difficult for all educators, adults in the world of kids, from moms and dads and other caregivers and families to classroom teachers, paraprofessionals, custodians, cafeteria workers, and certainly bus drivers. And let's not forget the principals. But, the work that we do is all rewarding because we're invested in it, we care, and we don't do it just because we're forced and pigeonholed into it. Quick hit, down and dirty. What's your favorite memory in the tenure of the position that you've been in? 30-second summary of why or what that memory is all about.
30 seconds. I'm going to go first. I'm going to jump in. Mr. David, I was in 5th grade, 6th grade. I struck up a conversation with him. By the time the end of the year was done, he gave me a silver certificate that he had held for 50 years, and I still have it today. Besides all the bubble gum that Mr. Maynard gave me from Dresser Hill, he was my most favorite bus driver, and not because he gave me something, but because he made a connection with me, and I just loved getting off the bus and even just talking to him and saying hi to him. That's my favorite memory.
Sweet.
Nancy.
Oh gosh, there's so many. But I remember being out at a harvest festival, and these little kids come running up to me, and they're hugging me, and of course their parents are like looking at me. So I kind of squatted down in a sitting position, and I'm like, bus driver, and they're and I mean, it just was such a good memory that the kids appreciate. I was on a plane one day, and the kid leaped at me, and I go, yeah, I'm their bus driver, and we're not going to Disney with you, but thank you. Just seeing the kids outside and having them recognize you is like my favorite memories.
Awesome. Melissa.
My favorite memories also, like Nancy said, is I like to take the time to know all my kids' names, and when you're in the stores and Walmart or the parents see you, and it's very nice that they recognize you, not in that uniform, out that uniform, and they're like, hi Melissa, or hi bus driver, and to me it's very heartwarming, and I just those are my favorite memories of all my kids. Or they come up to you and they hug you, and I know they say no hugging, but how can you turn a 5-year-old away? And it's like, no, or even like the middle school, high school, high five, those are my favorite memories, of all the kids.
Awesome. Andrea.
I have two. I have one of my students, her driveway was complete ice, and she slid down her whole driveway on her butt. And she was like, was that so funny? I'm like, that was amazing. I'm so glad that you were safe. That's one of my favorite memories of one of my students this year. Another one is every single day, one of my kindergartners hugs me before she gets off the bus. Every single day, every day, without fail, every day. I've only been a bus driver since 2019, so I don't have as long as of memories, but these are my favorite so far. My two favorite things. And my student that slid down on her butt, she's not in school right now because she's battling cancer. Aww. So her just, doing what she did just for fun, that I will never, ever forget that for the rest of my life ever. So
Chris, yours?
Those are my favorites.
No, Josh is going last. Chris is up next.
Oh, all right. I got to think back in Dudley, living over in the Jericho section of Dudley, getting picked up by going over to Mason Road and Dudley L when I was a kid. The bus driver's name was Amy. He seemed like he was about 85 years old back then, thick Irish accent, good dude, really crooked nose. And the thing I remember most about him, other than those, were he just really got us kids. He would get on. He was like grandpa driving the car, like we were going to the beach, but we all had a great time, great relationship with him. And it was just a fantastic way to start and end every day when I was in grades K through 4. It was just awesome.
Josh.
Well, I never had to take the bus because we live close to the campus, but I will let you know that we had my 2 years working in transportation were some of the best experiences that I had working with such beautiful people. And just hearing Nancy, hearing Andrea, obviously with Melissa, just the beautiful heart that they have. Because you know what? Let me tell you, parents, let me tell you, community, listen, these individuals wake up earlier than anybody else to greet your child with a smile. You have no idea what they have to do to leave their children before they wake up for breakfast to go prep a bus for your child. So remember that, please. Remember that, especially every once in a while, dropping off a thank you note during school bus appreciation week, letting them know that they have your back and you have their back. Because you know what? They do. They take care of your child. And you know what? During those hailstorms, during that flooding, guess who's driving your child? They are. So we need to make sure that we made a concerted effort to always, whenever we see the yellow limousines, that we care about them, we love them because they're holding the best treasure out there, the future of America. And I would be remiss if I don't mention this real quick. I would like to give a quick shout out to Melissa because recently she's been taking a leadership role for all the transportation department in her district. And she's been going to the board and she's been advocating for all her colleagues on getting paid more, what they deserve. You know what they've gone through since this last year, not getting paid without routes? They've had to find ways of making money. Let me tell you, she's a strong advocate for all bus drivers. And you know what, Melissa? Thank you very much for being you and taking that leadership role. And everybody out there, remember this. Our bus drivers do not get paid a lot of money. So the number one thing you could to repay them is with respect, love, because they have your child. And it's been a great session tonight. It brings back a big corazón and amor. Hearing all these stories, doesn't matter Massachusetts or Texas or Hawaii or Alaska, they're doing the Lord's work because they're taking care of our children. So thank you for everyone joining us tonight. Thank you, Andrea, for your beautiful words. Thank you, Nancy, for your beautiful words. Melissa, thank you for being here with that beautiful smile like you always have. Chris, Dean, we've been together all day today. And so we're going to do a little detachment until this Sunday when you join us for Unlock the Middle, our Sunday show. Dean, who do we have this Sunday?
Well, we're bringing in some school safety experts. So I'm going to start tweeting about it tomorrow, and it's going to be a real good opportunity to check out what schools are doing around the country to ensure the safety for kids, staff members, and the community members at large. So looking forward to it very much. Hey, on behalf of everybody on the call tonight, we want to say thank you for joining us. Treat your bus drivers the way they should be treated, with respect and admiration for what they do all day long. Hey, we'd ask that everybody on the call stay on. We want to wish everybody a great night. We're going to just kind of fade away because tomorrow morning, those buses start early. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Stay on, everybody.